today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Diamond Select Toys Cable, the Special Collector's Edition figure. Right off the bat, the one thing you'll see about this Cable is he comes with a lot of weapons. A big, large weapon that's almost the size of him. He comes with a side pistol, and he comes with what looks to be two holstered weapons, which hopefully are removable. Also appears that he comes with a display stand, which is not something that we see with a lot of more recent Marvel Select figures, so I'm thrilled to see that we got one with Cable here. Spin around the side of the package, and we've got a more modern illustration of Cable here. I would have loved if they had gone with maybe a more older comic appearance of Cable, but that's okay. Spin around the back of the box. Other figures to pick up are the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spider-Man. There's also Zombie Magneto. And your read-up says, as an infant, Nathan Christopher Summers was infected with a techno-organic virus by the immortal mutant Apocalypse, who could see that the child would one day be a threat to him. With no cure in the present day, Nathan was taken 2,000 years into the future, where the infection was stabilized and he was taught to use his mutant telekinetic powers to keep the virus at bay. Nevertheless, the left side of Nathan's body was slowly converted into techno-organic machinery, giving him enhanced strength and the ability to interface with machines. Following the evil clone's strife back in time to the present day, Nathan, now calling himself Cable, took over leadership of the New Mutants. Cable renamed him the X-Force and led them to numerous missions to stop Strife's Mutant Liberation Front and prevent Apocalypse's rise to power. Be sure to head over to www.diamondselecttoys.com, check out the other pieces that the folks over there are producing. And having said that, Spot's going to take a break. Going to get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at Cable, the Special Collector's Edition figure. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. The first thing we'll have a look at with Cable is the included display stand that comes with the figure. The display stand is a series of rubbled debris, and then we've got Strife's helmet, his cape, and I think one of his shoulder pad areas. It's a nice display piece. There's two peg points on either, well, one side there, one there, that you can display Cable on. It's kind of like a blast from the past that to see Diamond Select giving us this kind of display stand. It also very much harks back to the day of Toy Biz Marvel Legends, where you would get these intricate little display stands included with the figure. So we'll just put that to the side. Cable comes with a lot. As impressive really as the Marvel Select Deadpool, Cable does come with a lot of different weapons. First things first, let's have a look at the figure. He's got a lot. I hope they certainly paid the sculptor who sculpted this piece overtime, because they probably would have spent a lot of effort and a lot of care putting as much detail into this piece as they did. While it doesn't look like anything is removable in the sense of his armor, unlike the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Cable, which of course you remember could have this top section come off. I kind of like that it's all just affixed. It's not something that gets loose. It doesn't flop around. It's just a good, solid piece of figure. Now, speaking of things that remove on the figure, though, while this section does not, if you flip around to the back there, he does have a removable knife. Kind of very sharp, jagged kind of survival knife. All the weapons, of course, can be held in his hand, but I do like that there's that little concealed weapon on the back there. Kind of like a last resort. Someone's coming at him, he just reaches from behind and throws the blade at them. The sides of his gun, or the side holsters, do house two guns. You'll notice a common trend with all of the guns, actually, that there is a consistent futuristic design to it. I love that. Now, one gun is a little bit broader than the other. Clever that they also did this too. Initially, when I took it out of packaging, this smaller gun, we just put Cable down for a second. The smaller gun, there we go. Get him to stand. He's a little top heavy because of his shoulder pads. You know what, we'll just lay him down for a second. One thing I noticed when we got this out of packaging was that the smaller gun sits in its own holster. It is removable as well and can be housed in his hand. And I asked myself, I wonder why they would have actually had a secondary holster inside the main holster, because it just kind of goes in like this. The reason why they did that, very clever, because you could take the gun out And he comes with one of 3 other different guns that you could take the broader gun and fit it in the place where the smaller gun would have resided. Or for that matter, you know, you could take this gun, put it on this side. You can kind of mix and match and do other things with it. So clever. I love how they did that. By the way, too, if this looks like maybe a little familiar, it's because this gun is the mirror twin to this one, as you can see. I love these. I think these might be my go-to guns, or I might just go with the big one. And then we can just put these on the side. The small gun might get forfeited. I might sacrifice space for the small gun in favor of the larger ones. As they say, go big or go home. That's probably what I'm going to do. It's a shame that this really couldn't have attached somewhere else, like maybe even down here. You know, like if it had a secondary, like even like a little peg here, and this could have pulled out and there would have been a hole here. You could have actually clipped the third gun right here, so it would have had a place to house, you know, when you're not displaying it. The other weapons, of course, that come with Cable are larger. Quite a bit larger, actually. He comes with this kind of weapon, too. Again, that futuristic style of weapon, all cast in a silver, more likely probably a black plastic, and painted in silver. There's a little bit of red going on there as well. And as you can see, they all fit into his hand. Some a little bit better than others. Some of these ones here fit a little looser, especially this one here, because it seems like it's got a smaller handle. And then again, you've got this guy. The big old, this is the decision maker right here. This solves problems. Hopefully the problem, though, isn't you, because then it will be solving substantial problems. And yes, you can see it fits into his hand. I don't know if Cable would be holding the big gun on his own. What you could always do, too, is just, you know, hold it one way. The thing about this figure, though, is that the arms don't really get much movement. Obviously, for the big mammoth shoulder pad section, you can't move his arms really any further than here. So to have him, you know, two-handing this gun is a little harder. So you might have to just resort to the single gun, the single arm holding the gun. You could kind of also have the arm angled down, and then put the, you know, a smaller gun into the other hand. Out of all of this, we haven't even touched base on the face. The face is very nice. It's different too. I feel like it's, looking at it, it's something I would almost expect from a graphic novel than a comic book, or a more, it almost looks like the artist that draws Max, the Max. If you had him drawing Cable, I feel like this is kind of what you would end up with. I love the look of it. It's kind of separates it from itself from having it consistent with the other Marvel Legends figures, because the other Marvel Legends figures have a very rooted design to them. That Cable looks very, very different. Still fits in well, but I love the look of the face. The hair, that kind of blown back, you know, sculpted hair going on there. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous looking piece. It might be one of my new favorite Marvel Select figures. For your articulation, this is kind of where he gets a little more limited. He does have the ball hinge joint in the head, so it moves left and right. Doesn't really move up and down, though. Kind of also looks like Ron Perlman. If Ron Perlman was Cable, that's basically what he would look like. Arms move out and forward and back, but you can see by how much. It's not a lot. It doesn't also look like he's got a swivel point in the bicep. This one either. There's no swivel point, but he does have hinges in the elbows, which allow the arms to bend. Also has a swivel in the wrist. Looks like it slightly hinges. I'm thinking it's just a ball joint that pegs that hand in place. It has a swivel in the waist. Despite the fact that this looked like this was going to be attached to this, I can safely say it does swivel at the waist. Legs go forward and back. Goes out, and everything is stiff on this figure. Out. Has a swivel in the thigh. He has a double bend at the knee. And a hinged foot. It is a fantastic figure. Kudos again, like this one, again, sits a little loose, we'll put it over here. Kudos again to Diamond Select for giving us a Cable. It's one of those things where Even looking at the Marvel Legends Cable that we had looked at before from Toy Biz, it was a good figure, but it was very dated. And I kept hoping that we were going to get a more updated take of Cable. We have gotten other Cables, don't get me wrong, but this one I think takes the cake. It gives me everything I loved so much about the Cable that I knew growing up, and still gives them a very updated modern take too. For that reason, I would definitely say if you get a chance, you can hit your local comic book stores. Support, of course, the stores when you can. Definitely pick this guy up if you can find him. Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Diamond Select Toys Cable, the Special Collector's Edition figure. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.